The Belmanna Riots. This presentation was created by Jael Archibald, Reena Jandoolah, Daniella Ravello, Calisha Ragbir, Kyla Hospedales, Arismandes, Candice Rampersad, and Ramong. And today our presentation will cover information on what are the Belmanna Riots and why, where, and how it is celebrated. Chapter 1. What are the Belmanna Riots? The Belmanna Riots in Tobago took place in May 1876 and were typical of post-emancipation uprisings by black workers and peasants in the English-speaking Caribbean countries. Early in that year, unrest erupted among employees at the Roxbury estate on Tobago's southern coast, particularly among immigrant laborers from Barbados. Fires were started on the estate by burning sugarcane fields. Police officers led by Corporal James Henry Belmanna were called in to apprehend the arsonists. After 4 arrests, the rioting crowd attempted to stop the policemen from making more arrests by using sticks, stones, and cutlasses.
To control the rioters, Belmanna fired a shot into the crowd. This killed a Barbadian woman, Mary Jane Thomas. This sparked a large melee outside the Roxborough courthouse by the rioters who had followed the policemen all the way there. The crowd demanded that Belmanna be handed over to them. While the magistrate decided to free the 4 arrested persons, the crowd was not happy. They were not satisfied at all, and he had no other choice but to sacrifice Belmanna to the people. Belmanna agreed to go to Scarborough under police protection as a prisoner for murder. However, the crowd pounced on Belmanna, severely beating him and wounding other officers. Belmanna died 4 days later from his injuries.
The rioting destroyed the courthouse and momentarily spread to neighboring estates in the Windward district, burning more cane fields and estate buildings. The riots were subdued at the end of July, when British warships HMS Argus arrived from Barbados with policemen as well as other British troops. At the end, 16 persons were convicted for murder and of Corporal Belmanna, and 30 were imprisoned for rioting.
Although Belmanna's firing into the crowd was the trigger for the resulting violence, the root causes of the riots were wage disputes, arbitrary wage stoppages by management, the estate store or truck system, where an estate owner owns a shop and forces the resident laborers to acquire their goods from it, frequently at a higher cost than it could be found elsewhere. The estate owners and managers' unpleasant and disrespectful behavior towards the workers.
Chapter 2. Why is it celebrated? The Belmanna Riots are an important part of Tobago's history and a key aspect of worker labor rights for both Trinidad and Tobago. The reenactment at the Tobago Heritage Festival also helps to educate the younger generations about the history of Tobago. As a result of the Belmanna Riots, Tobago became a crown colony, meaning that they were controlled by the British Empire with representation by a governor. This paved the way for Tobago to be united with Trinidad.
Most importantly, the Belmanna Riots Festival is celebrated as it represents the beginning of equal labor rights for all workers. This cultural festival is the medium used to inform generations of people of how laborers fought for their rights to be able to have better wages, regular payment of wages, access to land and medical care. The celebrations are also a reminder on how the laborers fought for fair prices and to be able to purchase goods at a reasonable price. If they did not stand up for what was right in those riots, those same labor grievances may have still been faced by workers today.
Let's now listen to an actual narrative of the Belmanna Riots. It is separated into 2 parts.
Let's talk about the Belmanna Riots. Tobago will forever be changed because of the Belmanna Riots that took place in the year 1876. Now, it all started on the 1st of May with fires being set to estates and cane fields and stuff like that. And of course, the police was summoned. So by the 3rd, Corporal Henry Belmanna and a party of officers came and captured the suspected arsonists. However, the crowd didn't want them to be taken, and the mob started to build up like a popular alive, right? Now they were armed with sticks and cutlasses and stones and weapons, right? Now Corporal Belmanna, he felt threatened, and because of that, and he wanted to execute his job, and he wanted to take the suspects to court, he thought he had no other alternative, and Mr. Man decided to fire his weapon into the crowd. And this man killed a Barbadian woman named Mary Jane Thomas. The crowd was livid. They were angry. Whoo, child. Anyway, Belmanna said, okay, we're going to take these people to the court in Roxborough, the magistrate's court in Roxborough, and did just that. But the crowd was hot on his heels, and they wanted his head. It didn't have no ifs, buts, or maybes about it. They were very angry, and they wanted Belmanna's head on a platter. So they went to the magistrate's court, and they were so angry that they could not contain themselves. And they started to destroy the magistrate's court. They pelted down, they mashed up the windows, they started to burn it. They did all sorts of things. While the officers, the magistrate, people who were at the court, all of them were still inside. It was madness. The magistrate now tried to pacify the angry mob, right? So he read the riot act to them, but still agreed to release the 4 men, the arsonists now, right? But it didn't help because they were angry. You need to understand, this is an angry mob, and they want Belmanna's head, and nothing that the judge did other than give them Belmanna is what they would have settled for. So they had the courthouse under siege for many hours. And eventually the magistrate, now fearing for his life and the lives of the people in the courthouse, decided, listen, Belmanna boy, between me and you, go how to be you, know? Because I'm not dying for you. We're not that good. I don't know you that well, right? And I have my family, my children, whoever to go home to, and this ain't making no sense, right? So here's what. I'm sacrificing you, know, but I'm sacrificing you like a sacrifice. What I'll do, I'll send you under prison guard, right, to Scarborough on a potential murder charge, right? And let Scarborough deal with that, because here at Roxborough, we're certainly not equipped to deal with this kind of madness, right? Bet. Well, that is what Belmanna said. Bet. He was like, well, all right, no problem. I'll take one for the team. But as soon as he walked out of the courthouse, the angry mob pounced on him. And guess what? They beat him to within inches of his life. So he died on the 5th, and the courthouse wasn't saved. They destroyed the courthouse. They destroyed cane fields. They destroyed estates. Things got so bad that they decided to summon British warships and soldiers to create peace, right? 16 people were convicted of Belmanna's murder, and 30 people were imprisoned for rioting.
Chapter 3. Where is it celebrated? The Belmanna Riots is celebrated in Roxborough, Tobago, through street processions as well as at the Tobago Heritage Festival. The old Roxborough Police Station, the site of the Belmanna Riots of 1876.
Chapter 4. How is it celebrated? The Belmanna Riots are celebrated by the people of Roxborough and the wider Tobago community. The Tobago Heritage Festival is celebrated for 2 weeks from the mid-July to August 1st every year. It's used to reenact the Belmanna Riot with a stage production of the events and the people involved in the 1876 riots. Some sights that would occur during the reenactments are the burning of the estate, the death of Mary Jane Thomas, and the beating of Corporal James Henry Belmanna, and the riot itself.
The stage production is preceded by street processions. Street processions commence at Betsy's Hope and at Argyle, with people coming together from the different plantations to signify unity and to celebrate freedom and emancipation. The persons participating in the street processions carry sticks, cutlasses, and other garden or estate tools as weapons. Another procession at night also sees people carrying flambeaux or lighted torches.
Let's look at some of the pictures and videos of the reenactment. These are some scenes of how the Belmanna Riots are celebrated through folk dances and songs.
This video shows a snippet of the street procession.
No pay, no one, down with the chop. No pay, no one, down with the chop.
Now we'd like to show you a stage performance of when Mary Jane Thomas was shot by Belmanna.
Ready, take a head down your belly. Your man in the jail. Your man in the jail. On your belly. Your man in the jail already. So white man. Give your gun. To suit your own people. Tell it to suit man. Let's go.
These are some pictures of the singing and the play. These are also pictures of the ballet dancing and street parade photos.
We have come to an end of our presentation. Thank you for watching and we hope you enjoyed it.